Okay, all right. Welcome everyone. This is back to start losing, start trading, the live trading show we do here with Rosalie, aka Crypto Queen. So yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. So can you give us an update on what you've been up to over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was on a little vacation. My uncle got married in Germany, so I took some time off for that. And then I was in Toronto this past week for consensus, so that was really cool. Met a lot of interesting people, and yeah, now I'm fully back in the office. I'm excited about the recent price moves, and hopefully we can salvage some
That's right. You
interns.
saw this from a distance, and maybe that's kind of a lesson. But yeah, when you have to travel, you may not want to bring either your hardware keys or you want to take some time off. Like, did you watch the prize going and yeah, how was your experience when you could not manage your portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like I was missing out a little bit. I saw the price moves and price was going up, so I was happy, but I wasn't really sure exactly what the options were doing because sometimes it's not just about price movement. And so
Yes.
I was a little scared at times. And I also just felt FOMO. I wish I was more a part of the base trading competition and kind of getting all the updates. But it's important to relax sometimes. So.
Exactly. And there's going to be another competition, and also there's going to be another trade. I would say that we were not in a position that we had to be worried, or liquidation was never in the picture. But yes, a lot of what you have to manage, like, to set your portfolio, is that you have to give yourself some time off. You have to be able to walk away from a few days, a few weeks, even without meaning that your portfolio is going to be kind of in danger. We did set a few trades to hedge potential losses, perhaps. So that was kind of one thing that we'll cover. But yeah, you did talk about that a little bit. So let's go over the maybe the price charts a little bit, because the past 2 weeks definitely bullish. Yeah, were people at consensus also ecstatic, or what was the general feel there?
Yeah, people were very ecstatic. Lots of LPs and market makers, less meme coins, kind of more institutions. So it was definitely a little bit a different vibe. I know this week there's a Solana Accelerator event happening in New York, so I think that might be a little less on the institutional side, but
Yeah,
yeah.
was it mostly ETH? I guess I've never been to consensus with. Yeah, what was the main team slash protocol or people
Yeah,
talking?
I mean there's plenty of varieties. There was also some interesting Bitcoin projects I was talking to, but definitely more like ETH, market makers, institutions,
Oh,
new
okay, yeah.
trading.
Speaking of Bitcoin, back, I mean, above $100,000. Maybe it's worth looking at the past 2 weeks, but definitely I've seen a lot of upward move. We set up before you left the Ansem trade, which was, hey yo, you guys, how do I trade between 95K and 85K? And he was wrong, I guess, but that's uh, how it is. It was range bound, did explode. Now it's range bound again. um, and maybe we've seen that type of move a lot. Again, big move and then stable, big move then stable. It's not that people are manipulating the market. It's just uh, the markets aren't as liquid as people think, and whenever there's a big event, big buy, big move, something is tweeted, people react, but then afterward it's a lot quieter. So this is what we see maybe on the Bitcoin side, which is stable for a while, but besides these big dislocations, it's actually fairly stable. So I can imagine testing out stability after periods of turmoil is a good strategy as well. Same thing with ETH, and that might be your the chart you were looking at on your phone, I guess, or traveling. Do you remember which date? Yeah, which day did you leave, so that we have some perspective?
Um, I think I left like May 5th or something like that.
Okay, so that region here, a few days after you left, 40%, I think, in that short period of time, made everyone ETH holders feel good. But we'll see in the intern. We had a short position. You were right for a while, being bearish a bit on ETH. We were neutral getting out of your before leaving. So, but now this is definitely bearish, bullish. I mean, so
Yeah,
and yeah,
it's
you get
looking a little bit better, but I think for me to be bullish, I mean, I'm still down on my. Yeah, there's still a lot way more ways to climb, I think.
I know. And then yeah, maybe you've got you had good instance in the past. So now you see this chart over the past, I mean, 12 short of 2 weeks. What do you think the price is going to do?
Yeah, I think maybe it'll like kind of stay in this range a little bit and go down again, and then maybe go above and then go down again. I feel like it's still people. Yeah, I'm not convinced it's gonna go above like 3K anytime soon, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah,
But
we
we'll see.
haven't seen
I
these
hope it does.
upward moves that much. And that's definitely something that, again, I'll be glad to see again. But yeah, I'm a bit, whenever I see a proof, I not double down, but I capitalize on the opportunity and kind of maybe deploy more capital. And that's kind of how we should think about this. It's not about catching the moves, but maybe the aftermath. We haven't seen that many upward candles, so it's a bit, especially on the option side, uncharted territory. But yeah, I do think as well it's gonna decrease a little bit up and down. Those that wanted to buy did it and are still doing maybe, but there's might not be a big bear sale. So very interesting. Any other coin that was catching your attention over the past 2 weeks?
Um, Not really. I mean, I was just kind of looking at like Chainlink and Dogecoin, but they really haven't been doing as well as I expected
I
them
mean,
to.
the
So,
Dogecoin trade is always with respect to Bitcoin, so that's probably it did, yeah, it did appreciate. It outperformed Bitcoin, which is kind of that weird,
oh wow,
like little Doge, the little brother of Bitcoin, I guess. But it did do pretty well. But yeah, nothing to write. Yeah,
interesting. I wonder when I got into Dogecoin because my portfolio is still negative. I always get updates that the price is going up, and I check, and I'm still down. But
we'll see the we cannot trade Dogecoin options yet, or maybe if it's wrapped in a
not yet.
way. There is a way to exit gracefully a position, or maybe again generate yield when you have a lot of holdings that you may want to kind of part ways, or you may double down and say, "I'm going to buy a lot of calls." So yeah, that scenario where you say, "All right, I have so many Dogecoin. What do I do with them except looking at the P&L?" Yeah, there might be a ways to do it with options.
Yeah, are we able to do
Oh
Chainlink
yeah, for sure,
trades?
for sure.
Yeah, that would be something interesting maybe
I
for
don't
my.
know if this one. So maybe Chainlink. I would also pair it with ETH to see.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
the purple one is the ETH trade. So even though the price went up, it's like the Bitcoin ETH ratio as well. The ratio went down, unfortunately. So there is a trade for everything, but that is kind of the reference frame for many of these pools or markets are ETH here. ETH going up or down may float or rise the boats, but it's never kind of a shoe in. So very, very cool. So with that, let's go to the trading competition. This is something that we've done on base. You also missed out on that, but again, we'll have another one starting probably over the next couple of days. 48 minutes left, you guys. So do what you can to this place. There's plenty of great prizes. So we do award USDC prizes for the winners, top three PNLs, and then up to the 20th PNL gets some cash, but also we allow pips or points to be awarded. We're not allowed to do the math, but if you want to do the math, 1,000,000 points is actually quite a bit. Might be more than the cash. So that's kind of one thing that we want to have people kind of realize. There's a point campaign, but also the value is kind of what we want to reward with you guys. So again, if you're the 50th, even if you lost, you may get some points. We also had the volume metrics, also lots of points, also a prize. Top three only for this one, but yeah, we can have a brief look at the PNL. But maybe first one, 143% PNL. How do you feel about that? Are you jealous or admirative of what do you feel about trading? Yeah, 140
No, I
in
think
2 weeks. It's great.
yeah, I was looking at these positions earlier, and yeah, that was definitely one that I was very curious in checking out. I think that did have to do something with the price movement. I think they're current position is only at like
Oh, only
50%
50%. Oh yeah,
P&L,
we could spy.
but
Oh yeah,
um,
you also did some on-chain kind of investigation to see. But yeah, we can click on the name and you can see their portfolio. Actually, let's have a look. We're spectating. Oh, and we have to go on. Oh, that's what you said. Yeah.
yeah, so because it's on base, there it takes a little longer with
No, but we have to connect the wallet on
impersonating.
base, even though we're not collected. So that's a bit clunky. But yes, this position, uh, huge P and L. This is interesting too, but the P and L is what made them kind of the most money. But they were forced exercised. Let's see, they purchased an option, and we can look at this one particular. They purchased an option, a call option, which has a lot of potential upside. And in that case, they bought it when the price was 1,800. It was closed when it was 2,500. So a lot of P and L, huge amount of returns, $500 on what is only kind of $178 of position requirement. So this is actually a great trade. The interesting thing is that that position was out of range for a long, long time, meaning that when you buy an option, you pay when the price is in that range. And we see this a lot with Rosely's that we pay when it is, we get paid when we sell an option in range. So normally there's someone on the other side of that position that sold an option. They did not manage it in time, and they saw the other side of that loss. While this person earned $500, this other person might have lost maybe more than that on the sell side, but they forced exercise the position to force the closure of that position, which is out of the money, out of range. I mean, not earning money. That's something that you might have seen yourself if you're trading a lot on Panoptic or buying options. There's this risk of being exercised. In that case, you probably got exercised near the top too. So I wouldn't fret too much, but I guess either here or here. But that run all the way to, again, 180% profit, $500 on less than 200 of capital. This is a good trade. I don't think they've opened a new one, so that's also interesting.
Yeah, I think, force being exercised kind of sounds scary, but if you can still earn money, and you don't have to close your position
And
yourself,
then
why
also,
not?
I'm gonna geek out a little bit. Force exercising someone means that if you buy a call option, normally the exercise would mean you buy one ETH for a fixed amount of cash. And in that case, they were forced to exercise. So what happens is that they now have all ETH in their portfolio because the exercise meant that they had to buy it. So they buy one ETH with cash going out. So they have zero cash left. They have more ETH. Maybe they could have sold this back or they could have diverted back. But that forced exercise means that they are by default exercising, getting a lot of ETH. And if the price were to go down now, they have more exposure than they had. When you are trading an option and you close it yourself, you can choose to execute the trade if you want, where you do swap out, you secure your profits as opposed to doing the full kind of transaction. And even though you have one ETH to buy, maybe you buy, sell in the same transaction, you have more cash left. So that's another one where that person could have closed that position, but then also choose which coins they have left because now they were forced to exercise and they are forced to be 100% ETH.
I see. Okay, so would be maybe make more sense to swap it into USDC if you don't want
Yeah,
that
or
exposure.
maybe
But
the
yeah,
yes, if they are hoping for more returns, it's fine to have more maybe price going up. It's fine to have ETH as opposed to USDC. So that's one little point that is somewhat maybe you want to close your option yourself as opposed to wait for someone to exercise. So that's kind of one thing. But yeah, we have 144, which is great. 82, 40. That's the top three. So again, Steve from the team doing well. We had him on the show Friday. He discussed how he traded, which was directionally right. He did not overtrade, so this was good. So he was able to kind of rise to the top for sure. And yeah, so technically, everyone everyone deposited E. So I think most people made money. Oh, look at this schmuck. Uh, I lost 0.02%, but I'm fine. I'm standing back. And then technically, all there's maybe 100 or 150, but whoever is top 50 gets a prize. So all of those that may be losing a little bit, you get a prize of points. And me, I was, and maybe I can have a look. I'm a seller. It's hard to compete and make a lot of money in a short amount of time as a seller. But I was selling options, and I'm still selling them. I'm collecting fees. I'm trying to be delta neutral. So that's kind of my the way it works. So I'm neutral, and I'm trying to make money when it's neutral. There was a huge move, so I did lose quite a bit at the beginning, and now I'm just collecting fees. So that's a different trade. If we trade on a much longer time horizon, being neutral on the sell side has a net positive EV, or at least a more certain EV, as opposed to buying options. But yeah, it's just a matter of the price move. But yeah, I'm happy earning $34 worth of premium. But I did lose a little bit the first few days because I was neutral and the price moved. So
I wonder what do you think made the ETH spike so much for the last couple?
I don't know. What I feel like is that same thing with even Tasty Trade. They always say something is oversold or overbought. There is a feeling where like, is it really that low, or is this really kind of the price? And again, I don't know if it's a gut feeling, but at some point you expect a reversal, and maybe we've
Mhm.
lost hope a couple of times with these moves. So there's no more selling. It's oversold, meaning that no one wants to be on the sell side. So that's why maybe a medium-sized trade could have a much more impact. Pectra is definitely what seemed to be the timing, which is the update that helped the UX. But I don't think having to sign one less transaction and some blob increase means that it's worth 40% more. I don't know. What about you? What do you think? Why do you think? I mean, Bitcoin as well, but some of the cryptocurrencies went up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's made probably because Bitcoin did, and so more people want to kind of join and are buying. But yeah, I don't know. I think I really wanted, or I always expected ETH to kind of climb a lot more quickly, just like Bitcoin has. And now I feel like I finally understand maybe why it's somewhat more stable and somewhat more range bound, and maybe it would make sense for ETH to go to
I mean,
100K. So
I feel like
it's different.
yeah, with the ETH, the technology, Ethereum, the technology, and the blockchain is different than ETH, the asset. And ETH is what you have to buy to make transactions. This is something that gets burned. You have to maybe earn yield, but you have to lock it away. So it has a life of its own. Whereas Bitcoin is like you hold and that's it. So the use case is a little bit more concrete on ETH. And I mean, I heard about it. Even if ETH was $500 or $200, technology would still work exactly the same. You may have less collateral. So that's a way that you can distinguish. The Pectra update was a technological update. And that's why I'm not so sure that it changed the asset qualities that much. And I don't know. I'm not subjected to the price movement as much. Again, trying to earn yield, but yeah, I'm okay with earning more ETH. And finally, we have the. Let's go quickly before we do have to get back on track for the intern. But we were trying to also incentivize trading, and volume was one of the criteria. Again, you have 38 minutes. Uh, Bases blocks are fast, so I don't want to force anyone, but you can think of ways to create volume that could help. You can buy and sell options; it counts towards that. But the top one is currently one girl cb.id. Uh, that person definitely wants the plushie. Maybe we'll have they want to share their address. It has to be shipped out of Brendan's house. But volume is also another way, which is I think Nick Alchemist. We do know him, but he did not perform well in terms of trading, but was able to kind of keep going, and that volume could put him back to the getting in a price land. So yeah, that's another one. That volume is something we did want to reward as a way to kind of keep you some in the game. Steve was fine; he did one trade. One girl might have traded a bit more, but then yeah, that's something worth as well. So
Yeah, I think there's some good yield right now as well in our pools on base.
yeah,
So it's definitely a good time to
so it's a bit,
deposit.
yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but we do want to have the competition keep going. And if you want to try trades, like it's a competition every day, then yes, it helps with the P&L for sure. Amazing. So let's go back to the intern portfolio now. Intern is an account that we don't know who controls it, the intern, but the Twitter the Twitter profile intern is controlling it. We can see currently kept climbing in the ranks for the points allocation. So intern is now 33rd. Uh, we can look at the intern's portfolio again. Now it's a bit weird, but I'm on base. Let's go back to mainnet. And the thing that was maybe Scum Orison is that the intern has a lot of activity, lots of trades at the same time. We're in ETH BTC, ticker Bitcoin, ETH USDC, Bitcoin USDC, Eigen. So this is five markets to worry about, five different prices to keep track of. I won't maybe yeah, in your you know the interface a bit better, but is there one or a few numbers here that worry you a bit more if you look at the portfolio?
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess all of it is pretty negative, but yeah, looking at the margin balance as well. Um,
So this is one, the ETH USDC, definitely a big loser. We have one position here. I've looked at it. The intern does what they want, but the key point is that this option is a big drain on the P&L, and unfortunately, it is a short call that was definitely mistimed, and you can have a look. But the more the price goes up, the more it loses, and since it's not in range, it's actually a very bad trade. So this is something where whether the intern, so we opened it here, and we opened it also maybe a few weeks ago, yeah, a bit before. uh, if the intern were to manage this trade, and this is also what I want people to realize, that these prices move so quickly, and even if we were doing the show every 2 or 3 days, there's no way you can catch that move and be able to manage. So whether we manage it 20 days too late, or 5 days too late, or 2 minutes too late, to some extent, the amount of management you can do is limited. And in that case, it did shoot up from like maybe 1800 to 2500 in a few hours. And that move is hard to defend. And whether, again, I would say that the sad reality is that that trade did not go again for us. We were bearish. It went up, and that's meant that we are losing quite a bit on that trade. We did not get liquidated, which is good. And also, I'm going to show the portfolio P&L. But yes, maybe this is the intern's money, I guess. But yeah, the how does it feel to see maybe a big loss, big chunk of bread like that?
yeah, I mean, it definitely shocked me when I checked earlier this morning. But I think, yeah, keeping in mind deposits and earning premium and things, I'm sure there are ways to kind of balance
Yeah,
this
and this
out.
position we earned some premium right at the beginning and stopped. The one thing I want to look at is the portfolio P&L. This position is one. There's two positions at the same time, but there's also the deposits. So we have some ETH deposited. We have some USDC, and there's a way to look at the deposits. But this is how we built it as well. So if you look, the price is actually pretty flat. When we left, it was like 1800, and this was maybe the goal is to offset de-risk for the next 2 weeks. In a weird way, we lost maybe a lot on that one trade, but we gained on the ETH deposits themselves.
Yeah.
And maybe it's us shooting ourselves. If we had no short trade, we would have made more, but that's okay. But the key point is that we were flat. That's delta neutral. That's not something that is uh, impacting our P&L, because the loss on one hand is compensated by the deposits on the other end. So we created a covered call strategy, and that covered call is bullish. So it may not look like it, but we made money in the USDC term. We lost out on the potential ETH appreciation. But that's maybe a different picture as well. I was not worried for internet either, but the fact that the whole portfolio now is flat and we may have lost maybe $5, it does include the deposits and the options. So that's what I say. Sometimes the one trade doesn't tell the whole story. But yeah, is this a bit more reassuring here?
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
And I think we kind of knew you were going, so we created that hedge to make it flat,
Yeah.
and also we purchased some option here. So this is right before you left, but this is a straddle that was purchased. This was maybe long tail hedging if it did shoot to 5K. But this one is making us a little bit of money. So we started here. This is a straddle. It makes money if it moves in any direction, and it did go up, exited that red zone. We're making $25, I guess, 1%. But yes, uh, that's another trade that was meant that did work for us. So that's another kind of data point there.
Good, good. Yeah, I think definitely wanted to make sure nothing drastic would happen in the meantime. And yeah, so
Yeah.
this
So
is
unfortunately, the net PNL was flat, but then because ETH gained in value, we may see something like a loss where we borrowed some funds. We had we created an option we had to pay back. The next logical thing is to scrap the whole portfolio, start over. We know we didn't lose, but then we could have made more. So that's kind of one thing that at the end of the day we can do. So yeah, that's the next step. And one thing that I want to highlight, a new feature as well, is that on the page here you can click that button and we'll probably make it a bit more obvious. But now we can share the price or the PNL of that specific trade. So um, that's something again Lewis from engineering has prepared, and I'm happy to see it live. So you can now see and share this, share on X, copy the link, someone else can see it. But that's now another way to show your creds, how well you traded. And we will do this as well with the portfolio of the intern, so intern can have some real trades to post about.
yeah, this looks great. A little bit more organized than just screenshotting the position.
Yeah,
I love it.
and cool little, and I don't know how it looks on dark mode. Actually, I think it's the same one, but a lot of folks use dark mode. I use light mode, but this is also maybe cooler too. Like, yeah, great. So we have to survive. We have to keep moving forward. Maybe one thing that we should do is to think about a new trade. So we start from scratch. We have as much money as before, even though the price went against us. Let's say about setting up a new trade. So yeah, same question I ask you is, Rosalie, are you bullish, bearish, or neutral? ETH.
I guess, yeah, I wish I could be a part of the bullish crew that where the price moves up, but they earn so much on their option. But kind of keeping it a little bit more neutral and thinking about risk management. I think it would be fun to be still bullish, but a little bit more on the neutral side
Neutral to bullish.
for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, and then kind of see
Okay.
what
So
happens.
we do have the strategies here. There's bullish and bearish, and these might be like buying a put or buying a call. These are trades that you may be used to. But neutral, we have neutral on the buy side, but also neutral on the sell side. And again, the we've seen it a few times. But uh, one strategy that has a lot of capital efficiency and is on the sell side, so you get compensated for the risk, is a straddle. So we can simply choose this, and this is the payoff. We can actually interact with it. So when you said bullish to neutral, depending on how we set up, we can choose these strikes where it's about the current price, and this would be very neutral. And the neutral is that it's flat on the top. Price moves up and down by 1%, you lose practically nothing. So you're neutral. One way you can kind of be directional is to offset a little bit and also have maybe extra returns. But that would be, if you look at the slope, going up a little bit, which is bullish. You don't expect it to go back to 4K. Maybe you expect it to go at 3,400 in a month. And if it stays within that range, if it doesn't go below 2,100, if it doesn't go above 2,400, you're making money. So that would be an example of a neutral to bullish case trade.
Yeah, I think this looks good. What about something where maybe we could earn a little bit
Yeah.
more
You mean in terms of fees or in terms of bullishness?
in terms of
Okay.
bullishness? But is it possible with the strangle, or would it have to be
Yeah,
kind of a different strategy?
the textbook version of a bullish trade is you don't even have risk to the upside, which is selling a put like that. In that case, you can be sheepishly bullish, which is going to make you a little bit if the price goes up, or you can be very bullish, which is going to be you ride the whole price appreciation from 2400 to 3800, or you can be somewhere in the middle. So that would be a more directional play, no risk on the upside. And that could help you kind of maybe recover if you're really bullish. If there is risk to the upside, like we've seen, you can be caught off guard by sudden moves. So that could be kind of another one that, to some extent, has no risk to the upside, which goes with your assumption that the price is going to be bullish.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, I don't expect the price to do anything super drastic, but I do want to be a little bit more bullish over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so that could be setting a put option, and the way that we do it on Panoptic, you can just drag around and choose your strike. Do you remember one way to choose the strike? Where should we go for the strike selection? Like, do you? Yeah, or
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. You want to be near the price
Sorry,
or on
you
one
were
side
cutting
of
out a
it?
little bit. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. Yeah, definitely somewhere where not as much liquidity has been bought up yet, right?
It depends. So the way that this works is that you sell an option, and you can sell and get the fees paid to you. But if you go, this is one strike that has some amount purchased, and if you do this, you get paid 3% more, 1.3% more than Uniswap fees. And that's a good place to be. You earn more, you have maybe the risk that you understand, and that's it. Or you can go to this one as well, which has a lot of activity as well. And this one, you earn 1% more than the fees. Is that true? Yeah, okay, there's a lot of trading there, but yeah. So that's another one. Or you can just be a bit more kind of go where you want. There's not a lot of people. People should be risk managing. We see lots of calls being purchased and not as much puts being purchased. So you can buy a call, and if you see those bars here, a lot of them have some buying activity. People are bullish. They want to see the price going up, so they buy calls, which is great. The flip side is that price could be reversed. You might also want to buy puts as well, so that you aren't as exposed. So now we're bullish, so we buy puts. But if we were even bearish a little bit, I would even include some level of spread or buying an option too. So uh, I would say that the one thing that is also important is that the delta of your option
I like this.
gives you a figure about
Mhm.
how likely it is that you'll be right in your directionality. And now the delta is 32 or 0.32. Do you remember what delta means in that context?
Does it mean I'm 70% chance of
That's
being
correct.
right?
30% of being wrong. I like that you're an optimist and glass half full type of guy. So yes, 70% of being right. And that might be the one that I would also kind of graduate toward because it has some buying activity, but it has a lot of liquidity. So people that want to buy in size may still go there. So this multiplier may change. And 30 delta is maybe what people that are selling options start at the point start with. You don't necessarily start at the money. It's a little bit more risk. This is 30% the risk, 70% chance of being successful. The break even, we'll see how it changes, but technically the break even may be around 2200. You still earn fees down to 1800. So anything that stays within that range within a month should be earning good fees. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this definitely looks like it makes sense for right now. How much more? Do we stop
Oh, so
earning?
if it goes above 2900, or below
Okay.
1800. It's a huge range. We've been burnt before because of the moves, but I would say that both sides seems reasonable. I'm pasting on YouTube the link to that specific trade if you want to replicate it as well. But yeah, this is definitely bullish. The neutral is that you have 30% delta, so you don't have as much risk, I guess. So you can tolerate some downward move, but yeah, that's also a good trade to be at. So I would recommend Intern to close all of their positions, deploy a new bullish strategy, and see where it goes.
Yeah, I think definitely being in so many markets was is also a lot to handle
Yeah.
for intern with um, if there are significant price moves. I haven't
No,
checked the
exactly. I
eigen
think
trades yet, but
most
I
of
know
these
there's
trades
yeah.
kind of net one out together. And then even though we lost quite a bit on that ETH USDC trade, I think this is wrong, but yeah, we did earn on the ETH, Eigen, BTC, Ticker Bitcoin, and ETH BTC as well. So all of our deposits are earning as well. So I would say that we are exposed. Just this one is a net loser, but everything else is going up. So um, as you say, there might be a lot of trades to manage. I think yeah, this one's also in range, which is good.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
So
good.
Eigen also has moved with Bitcoin. We had a Bitcoin trade ticker. So this one might be exposed. Let's go look at the price of Bitcoin.
Okay, yeah,
This is
out
another
of
one
range.
out of range. We started neutral, very neutral. This was maybe the Ansem trade between 75K and 95K. I don't think this is overextending ourselves. We have kind of a reasonable exposure. But yes, unfortunately, it went against us. So I would also recommend closing. We can revisit that trade on Wednesday. But yes, we earned a few dollars, $5, but then we stopped earning as soon as the price left. So this was good, and then unfortunately, price moved. So this is another one that we have to manage.
I think there were a couple other trades too that we had talked about, but maybe intern hadn't done them that were a little bit more bullish as well. I think, yeah, I remember talking about the BTC going up and up and up, and I was like, we're finally bullish.
Exactly. So this is
Um,
also another one. The trade was moved to yeah the ratio as well moved against that ETH Bitcoin. But yes, it is one of those things that we were never at rest, meaning that the margin utilization, which is that number here, never approached 50%. And remember, you get liquidated at 100%. So in that case, there was not a lot of risk, even though we may be losing money. We survived. We lived to we live to live another day. So that's also good. But yes,
cool. Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to kind of getting back into the trades and managing these
yeah.
positions.
All right. So we'll do a neutral to bullish trade on USDC. We have some capital in Ticker Bitcoin and ETH USDC as well that we can utilize. Looking forward to it, but yeah, that's kind of the portfolio. All right, we survived. We survived.
We survived.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Any other thought or announcements or anything that you want to share? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's 20 minutes left in the base trading competition, so we're really excited about that. I think the P&Ls look really good. Everybody seems to, even the people that are losing money are less than 1% or only 1%. So maybe people are learning, and we're gonna, announce the winners later and start shipping out all the prizes. And yeah, we're very
Exactly. The
excited
shipping,
about that.
the ducky is humongous, so we'll see. Uh, hopefully, we won't have to
I'm gonna
ship it
vacuum seal
across the world, but we'll do
it.
it regardless. Uh, yeah, very cool. So this was Stop Losing, Stop Trading, the trading show where I teach Rosalie. Today we saw how to salvage a portfolio after a big move. Um, we were fine. No one got blown up. It's just that now we were wrong direction a little bit. We just have to reposition and keep moving forward. So very excited about that. But yeah, I think otherwise Let me put some outro music. But that's it for today. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you on Wednesday.